Original Home Series UX, and this is why the US Air Force installed a Howitzer on a cargo plane. Bachao, know what you think. Can guns fly? How about Howitzer? We are not talking about the 8 and Warthog, rather than AC 130. What? This is that insane fortress in the sky, right? I saw the video about AC 130 from Federation. Basically, they thought, like, wait a minute, I need a space. I need cargo planes. I need the best guns I can put. I need everything. That's what Americans said when they saw AC 130. I like that. Right? This is like the most OP thing ever. Basically, flying in the air, just providing support, just AC, A as in attack, right? And it's a cargo plane with howitzers and all the different type of shit. Basically, raining down fire. That's what this is, right? Every time you talk about like video games or something, like we need a support, right? And you see like bombardment everywhere and it just like constantly flies overhead. That's probably AC 130, right? I love that. I love the concept of that. Yeah. So obviously I watched the Federation video and it's just like too awesome. I didn't see that coming. But one thing I learned from like Federation videos that whenever United States armed military uses anything that is not supposed to be used for that, like let's just say cargo plane, but use it to transport cargo. Fuck it, let's install guns. It would be better than any like purposely built attack plane, and probably is. There you go. Somebody like said, what if we make a tractor into a tank? What if we make something like put a lot of cannons into something like the farmers type of bullshit, right? Every time farmers try to create something, it's just like too much. American farmers, I guess. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Let's watch it. Remember, people, flag my Rickson, don't subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. I've been watching these military style videos recently a lot, especially about the equipment, planes, tanks, and things like that. It's really interesting when I hear about things. So yeah, I don't know what you think. Is a great channel. I like how he personally went to like one of the ships and like did the tour and everything. I hope he does that with Ford class, aircraft carrier and things like that, submarines or something, Iowa class, right? Yeah, that would be so good. So let's watch this one.
This is a howitzer. But never ever the guys who invented it imagined it would one day be shot from the sky. Since the invention of aviation, militaries have pushed the limits of airborne weaponry. In the First World War, pilots dropped the first airborne bombs. In the Second World War, planes could drop 40 to 50 bombs in one flight. And by the Vietnam War, planes were armed with everything from napalm to miniguns. But how one aircraft company was able to make the howitzer fly and why the pilots of the howitzer need to wear night vision goggles is not what you think.
Hold on, a howitzer is like basically artillery, but not artillery, right? If I remember correctly, howitzers are like guns, but guns are longer barrels and things. While howitzer are not. Howitzer, you're supposed to like shoot it at an angle, basically how you do artilleries, but it's different. So planes usually don't have that because doing with the angle and things. But I'm guessing this cargo plane flies so high and just like circles it around. I guess you can like attack it like that. I don't know.
Over the course of the 20th century, the US Air Force developed its own concept of close air support, creating doctrines
I see those helicopters and like minigun attack. I always hear like A-team music, right? And all those like 80s and 70s music.
ever
How can you attack some place using minigun from that height? I mean, I'm guessing like the point isn't like to attack, like specific target, but just like attack the area. So there's a pressure on, because I'm pretty sure you can't hit your target with a minigun. It's not going to be that accurate.
Due to its size, fuel efficiency,
Look at
and
the
aerial
thickness.
refueling capabilities, the C-130 could fly further, faster, and longer than the C-47. But above all else, it could carry 5 times the weight of weaponry compared to its predecessor. The early versions of the AC-130 used 4 miniguns and 4 rotary cannons. But within a year of its production, Lockheed upgraded the aircraft with a surprise package to 20mm and 40mm cannons. This version, the AC-130A, was named Spectre, since it mostly came out at night, like a ghost. This reputation for nighttime activities has continued to the present day, since flying at night protects the large, slow cargo plane from anti-aircraft guns and allows it to loiter without interference from.
What about radar though? Right, like what does night and day has to do then? Can radar just pick it up?
Small arms damage. But even with the surprise package adding more millimeters, it didn't take long for the US Air Force to realize they wanted even more firepower from the AC-130.
Obviously.
In 1972, the first 105mm Howitzer
Yes, yes.
was delivered to Vietnam for fitting to the AC-130
That's Chinook, right?
airframe. Of all the weapons to arm a plane with, a howitzer is the most difficult. This is because of the special design of howitzers, which are actually the halfway point between traditional cannons and mortars.
Yeah.
See, cannons are meant to fire forward with very little angle of elevation, such as the cannons on tanks or anti-tank emplacements. Mortars, on the other hand, are intended to fire at almost an upward angle, with just a slight enough angle for the shell to travel forward. But howitzers, especially American-made ones, are meant to fire at angles between 40 and 90 degrees. So how did the 2 most powerful aircraft companies in the world make this work? As a joint venture between Lockheed and
Yeah. So howitzers supposed to be like long range angle attack thing, right? It's not like your basic gun is like we're supposed to attack it from the angle. Yeah, but we don't need we don't need to give a shit about like any angle. Just put it on a fucking plane and rain down, I guess. There you go. Where but it's not gonna be accurate, sir. How are you gonna aim it? Like just like generally in that area. That's what we need. Left side generally in that area. That's where you're supposed to attack. Anything else doesn't matter.
Boeing, the AC-1
The plane is flying straight ahead, right? With force going in the straight ahead direction. Now from the left side, obviously, left side it's gonna attack and it's gonna like sideways 6 feet. 6 feet is a lot. Like imagine like here, like 6 feet, it's just like flying boom. Like oh damn.
meant sliding back. Naturally, they packed the large cargo bay with fire control consoles and targeting computers. One aspect of the fire control system, known as the Mission Operator Palette, or MOP for short, uses a pair of joysticks, much like a game controller, to zoom in and out and control where the gun is pointed.
Yeah, but the new Gen Z generation constantly playing PlayStation video games. How are they gonna help? Now the world is becoming more like manless attack drones. Basically, SR-72, who's also going to be manless. Basically, a guy sitting behind with a joystick. Yeah, that's going to come into play a lot, right? All those Call of Duty players, when needed, are going to be really accurate, I'm guessing.
Over time, improvements in software and sensor arrays have allowed the crew to engage two separate targets over a half a mile apart. This helps gunners hit their targets. But how do the pilots know where to keep the plane and its guns pointed so they're in the right direction? Once a target has been identified, the pilot sets an optimal range that all of the gun's weapon systems are effective at. Then, the pilot engages in what's known as a pylon turn, which is a tight, circular flight pattern around the target.
Yeah, circling.
Regardless of expensive technology,
they should call one of these vultures or something, because I don't know, it might be derogatory, I don't know, so they might not, but yeah, it's like vultures constantly like circling overhead. Imagine this thing like in the distance you somehow see it and it's like circling your area. Yeah, that's not a good sight, is it? Yeah, that's the point. Like you should run at the bunker or something if you can. Pretty sure they're not gonna have like bunker busting bombs and them, but yeah. Where this is insanity. Just the pilot is like really good in this way. Like it's not just there to just like fly it and like the guy who with the joysticks on it. No, he needs to know the angle and everything. Like he's actively trying to target as well. So you need really skilled pilot for this.
Pilots have found a simpler solution. To make sure the gunners hit their targets, they use the same cheap holographic sights that infantry and special forces use for their rifles. By keeping the holographic sight pointed at the target, the pilot can adjust his turn to the exact angle needed for the gunner to maintain their fire. Another ingenious solution developed by the AC-130 pilots is learning to fly with night vision goggles on. The necessity for this skill comes from the fact that when the gunships fly their missions at night, they must be completely blacked out as to not give any hint to their location in the air.
Okay. Why do we need to fly at night? I mean, like, radars would pick up plane anyway. Isn't it better to fly at daylight because we can see shit? No, sir, no, because night is better. Are you sure you're not just saying that because you want to wear night vision goggles? No, night is definitely better. Oh, okay.
With all these capabilities, the AC-130 lineage of gunships has seen continuous service since its introduction in the Vietnam War, and
why would it
earned a
not?
reputation amongst the troops on the ground as their guardian angel. However, despite the love and notoriety of the platform, it is not without its flaws.
I mean, yeah.
For all its firepower, the AC-130 is still a cargo plane at heart, and its large size and slow maneuverability leaves it vulnerable to all types of anti-air fire, which is why it's only used when total air superiority and ground suppression is assured. But as technology develops, the concept of pure air superiority...
What was that thing, right? I forgot. I'm pretty sure I watched the Not What You Think video about how certain things you need to attack first, right? It's an acronym, I forgot. But yeah, you need to take out certain radars, you need to take this out, you need to take that out, basically to gain air superiority, right? So obviously if you do that, like this plane's not going to be attacked because like there's nothing left to attack, right? So yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know, like, can't you like make, if it's already a heavy ass cargo plane, can't you fit like, how you made like, A-10 Warthogs like cabin, like this bucket that is like, like really strong so the pilot doesn't get attacked because they know A-10's gonna get attacked. So can't you do that with the same thing with this? Is like put bigger, stronger, engines on them. So, even if you make heavier, it can fly, and just like put insane plates on it. Like even if it can tank, let's just say, multiple shots.
becomes less attainable. Today, drones and missiles have progressed to a point where even if air superiority is achieved, a large cargo plane in the sky is still an easy target. With their low radar signature and high speeds, relatively inexpensive drones could easily deliver an air-to-air missile against an AC-130. Furthermore, the high speed at which modern standoff missiles are fired may be too fast for the crew to even be able to react, making the skies even deadlier for the gunship. While the Air Force has invested in several laser technologies and sensors to modernize the gunship even further and improve its survivability, at a price of nearly $200 million apiece, is the cost and the risk still worth it? For now,
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure like this kind of like flying fortress thing is really important for psychological element. If you're trying to dominate an area, you need that fear, like, oh fuck me, that's like flying there. So like that T-40 video, even like Abram X video, where they're like, an incoming missile is coming and like the tank itself will fire a shell to basically like in defense way, right? You can add something like that to AC-130, like multiple things. A missile is coming, it detects it and like fires a shell, so it protects the plane, right? I don't know. Or fires a shotgun style gun. As soon as the round comes closer, missile comes closer, it will destroy it rather than damaging the plane. I don't know. You can use this as a flying tank and just like upgrade the same way how you would upgrade a tank, I guess, like how you do with Abram X and things like that.
Now, yes, since the US employs the AC-130 in unconventional anti-terrorism operations. But if the AC-130 ever faces more advanced enemies, will it become a ghost of the past?
Yeah, nah, it won't be. I don't think it would be, because you need like strategy. That's, I always say that, like a good general, good commander would know what to do, right? A proper support of like some planes like F-35s, F-22s with air dominance thing, right? Just knowing your area, like where are the SAMs, you would face the threat, what is the best way to approach that, send out some like jets to basically mitigate that, or like have some jets accompany AC-130 when needed, add some defensive measures. I'm pretty sure you can still use this one, but I don't know. Alright, well, that was why the US Air Force installed a Howitzer on a cargo plane. Because it's American, they can. This is why I don't know what you think. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't seen other reactions like this, check out the link in the description and end card right now. Comment down if you want to do any specific reaction. And Instagram now, if you want to follow me. Twitter, where I put links of the video, because sometimes YouTube doesn't send notifications. And yeah, I'll see you next time.